Hello friends, welcome back to Pathshala. Today we will discuss a special topic, that is blood. So, blood is a red colored mobile fluid, means it flows from one part of the body to another. So, blood is a red colored mobile fluid that flows in our body to circulate or transport different essential things like water, oxygen, food material from one part of the body to another, and it uh, transport these essential elements to each and every cell that present in our body, as well as it also helps to remove, or it also helps to transport the waste materials that are produced by as a byproduct of metabolism and respiration to eradicate those materials from our body. So, blood actually is a type of connective tissue. It is a fluid tissue and it is actually a connective tissue in our body. Blood has mainly two components. So, blood has mainly two components. First one is plasma, and the second one is blood corpuscle. So firstly, we discuss the plasma. So plasma is a straw colored fluid material, aqueous type of fluid material that consisted about 55 to 60% of the total blood volume in our body. Adult human contain total 5.5 liters of blood in their body. So, the total blood amount, 55 to 60% is the straw colored aqueous medium, liquid medium known as plasma. So, plasma actually is the normal fluid part of blood. It is slightly alkaline and its pH is near about 7 to 7.4. So it is slightly alkaline in nature. The plasma contains mainly three of the components. The first one is water. So the water content in plasma is about 90 to 92%. Second thing is organic matter, which contains 7 to 8% of the total volume of plasma. And the last one is inorganic material or inorganic matter, which contains 1 to 2% of the total volume of the plasma. The inorganic components or the inorganic material that present in plasma is basically the bicarbonates or the carbonates parts, and the like the different types of sulfates and phosphates of sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. The organic matters consisted about the hormones, enzymes, then different types of proteins like the globulin protein, prothrombin protein, uh, different kinds of blood proteins or the plasma proteins are present as an organic matter in the plasma. Also the urea, uric acid, creatinine, antibodies, all these are actually the organic matter of the plasma. So plasma is the aqueous liquid medium which is slightly alkaline in nature, and it consisted of three main parts, which is water, major water portion, then organic portion and the inorganic material. Next we discuss about the blood corpuscles. So, the blood corpuscles remain suspended in the plasma material. So, the blood corpuscles are nothing but the blood cells that present in the blood and remain suspended in plasma. So, there are basically three types of blood corpuscles. First one is RBC or the red blood cell. Second one is WBC or the white blood cell, and the last one is platelets. So let us discuss all these blood components one by one. So the RBC, actually the red color of the blood actually for the RBC content in the blood. So the RBCs or the red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes. Erythrocytes. RBCs are formed into the bone marrow of our bones, and the process of formation of RBC is known as erythropoiesis. This is very important. What is erythropoiesis? Erythropoiesis means the formation of the erythrocyte or RBC in human adult bone marrow is known as erythropoiesis. So RBC, the lifespan of RBC is near about 120 days. The RBC lifespan in our blood is nearly 120 days. So in RBC there is basically the red color is due to a respiratory pigment that present in RBC, that is hemoglobin. Now firstly discuss the structure of RBC. So the RBC is a biconcave. So RBC looks like this type. RBC is a biconcave disc shaped structure or disc shaped cell that don't have any nucleus in its content. Means the RBC is a non-nucleated biconcave blood or disc-like or disc-shaped cell structure in the blood corpuscle. So this is very important. The RBC of human being is non-nucleated because it don't have any nucleus in its content. Why it is non-nucleated? Because it has to transport the respiratory pigment or respiratory medium, that is it has to carry the oxygen and carbon dioxide from lungs to capillaries or lungs to each and every cell of our body. So to reduce its inner volume and to carry the oxygen and carbon dioxide, the RBCs are basically non-nucleated. So the RBC, main component of RBC is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin actually has two components. One is heme and the second one is globin. This globin is nothing but a protein, and the heme is the iron content in it. So the iron content and the protein together constitute to form the respiratory pigment in our blood, that is the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin combines with the oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin, and it transports oxygen from lungs to the capillaries of each and every organ to transport the oxygen to different kinds of cells. Whereas the hemoglobin also pairs with the carbon dioxide to form the carbaminohemoglobin, and also some of the carbon dioxide dissolved in the plasma to form the different types of bicarbonates, and this carbaminohemoglobin and the bicarbonate content in plasma transported back to capillaries to lungs, and the lungs actually uh, discarded the carbon content in our body, or carbon dioxide from our body. So in human, in adult human, the hemoglobin in adult male, in adult male, the hemoglobin, or the total amount of hemoglobin is nearly 15 milligram per 100 ml of blood. This is the hemoglobin contained in adult male, that is 15 milligram per 100 ml of blood, where in adult female the hemoglobin content ranges between 12 to 13 mg per 100 ml of blood. As well as in children, the hemoglobin content is nearly 11 mg, 11 to 11.5 mg per 100 ml of blood. So this is the hemoglobin content, or the proper hemoglobin content in our body, and that is in adult male 15 mg per 100 ml of blood, in adult female 12 to 13 mg per 100 ml of blood, and in children nearly 11 mg per 100 ml of blood. So the total number of RBC in human being ranges from, in adult male, the total in total blood content, the total amount of hemoglobin in adult male is nearly 5 to 5.5 million cells of RBC. The RBCs are, and the adult female, there are nearly 4.5 to 5 million RBCs are there. So let us discuss the function of RBC. So RBC's function is to transport the respiratory system, or the respiratory gases from one part of the another, and also RBCs helps to transport the food materials and another essential materials from one part of the another. Basically it transport the respiratory pigments, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now let us discuss the second type of blood corpuscles, that is the WBCs. So the WBCs are white blood cells, and they don't have any color, like the red color of the blood actually for the RBCs, and because they contain the hemoglobin part, and due to the presence of iron, the RBCs are red in color, and due to this the blood is also red in color. Now the second type of blood corpuscle, that is the WBC. And the WBCs are white blood cells are also known as leukocytes. Known as leukocytes. So these leukocytes are also formed in the bone marrows. And the formation of the leukocyte is known as leukopoiesis. Formation of erythrocyte is known as erythropoiesis, whereas formation of WBC is known as leukopoiesis. The average lifespan of the WBC is there are different kinds of actually WBCs. So the lifespan varies from 1 day to 12 days. There are actually 5 kinds of WBCs. So the lifespan varies from 1 days to 12 days. So the WBC, the normal range of WBC in adult human is ranges between 5,000 to 8,000 per ml of blood. So per ml of blood, the total amount of all types of WBCs are 5,000 to 8,000. The RBC, the main function of RBC is to fight against the microbes that invade our body, or to fight against the microbes or germs that invade our body, and WBC is used to kill them to protect our body from those invaders. And they also is a part of innate immune system in our body. So there are basically 2 types of WBCs. So if we discuss the types, so there are 2 types of WBCs. First one is granulocytes. Granulocyte means those type of RBCs that have granules in its cytoplasm. These granulocytes have dome-shaped nucleus. So the granulocytes actually have this dome-shaped nucleus, either this kind or this type of dome-shaped nucleus present in their structure. These are generally spherical in shape. So the cell structure is generally spherical and the nucleus is generally dome shaped, and it also has granule content, or it has granules in its cytoplasm. That's why they are named as the granulocytes. So the granulocytes, there are 3 types of granulocytes. First one is basophil. Second one is neutrophil. And the third one is eosinophil. Eosinophil. And this eosinophil, also known as acidophils. So there are 3 types of granulocytes. First one is basophil, neutrophil, and eosinophil. Basophils are very less in amount in our blood cell, whereas neutrophils are much more higher in concentration, and eosinophils occur when there is a kind of allergy happen in our body. So only then the eosinophil content becomes higher in the blood. The next type of the WBC is a granulocyte. granulocytes. So granulocytes don't have definite shape. They are generally this type means kidney shaped structure, or they don't have any specific cell structure in their body, or some of the granulocytes are spherical in shape. So their uh, the nucleus in their body or the cell is generally spherical in shape, or they are generally spherical, or in some cases the nucleus is of kidney shape. So the granulocytes are of they don't have any. Why a granulocyte? Because they don't have any granules in their cytoplasm contained. Means absent of granules. So it is absent of granules, in the cytoplasm, so they are known as agranulocytes. And the agranulocytes are of basically two types, that is monocytes and lymphocytes. Monocytes and lymphocytes. So there are basically 5 types of WBCs: basophil, neutrophil, eosinophil, and 2 types of agranulocytes, monocytes and lymphocytes. Next, we discuss about the last blood corpuscle, that is the platelets. So the platelets are basically the cell fragments that are produced in bone marrows. The platelets actually helps to helps in the process of blood clotting. So in the process of blood clotting, the uh, platelets help, and they are also known as the thrombocytes. So they are known as thrombocytes. So third uh, blood corpuscle is platelets. And these are also known as thrombocytes. Platelets are also formed in bone marrows. They contain a special type of protein that is known as thromboplastin. Thromboplastin. And this thromboplastin actually helps in blood clotting. And the platelets are very less in number than RBCs and the WBCs, and their size is also very negligible, then or size is also very small than the WBCs and the RBCs. Their size ranges from 2 to 4 micron only. So their micrometer only. So their size is very small, 2 to 4 micrometer. So and their lifespan is nearly 5 to 7 days or 5 to 10 days. So their lifespan is 5 to 7 or 10 days, and their size is also very small. They contain the thromboplastin protein, which helps in blood clotting process. Now, let us discuss the last topic of this session, that is function of blood. Major function of blood is to transport the digested food material digested and absorbed food material from our smaller intestine to different organs of our body from head to our toe. and it supplies the digested and absorbed food material to each and every cell. The second important function is to carry the respiratory gases, that is the oxygen and carbon dioxide, from lungs to capillaries or capillaries to lungs. Next function is to remove the metabolic waste or to transport the metabolic waste from each and every cell to special excretory organs that present in our body. Next is blood also transports some chemicals, that is like enzymes, then the hormones from its origin and to its target site. And then the blood also helps to regulate our body temperature, means certain functions or certain reactions in our body generate heat, and the blood actually equalizes the heat, and it actually transports the heat through all in our body. So that is why it equalizes the heat, and it also regulates the heat produced in our body. Next function is that the white blood cells that present in our body, it actually fight against some microbes or the germs that invade in our body, means it fight against the invaders to protect our body from those things. Then the platelets help to help in the process of blood clotting, means if there is some cut in our body, then it quickly releases the thromboplastin protein and helps in the blood clotting process. And also some of the proteins in our blood also helps as a buffer medium, so it actually maintains the body pH level also. So all these are the functions of blood. uh, I hope you enjoyed the session, and we will meet in next session with the topic clotting of blood. Thank you so much.